Before you go and leave my life, find paradise in someone else's eyes. Just one thing you promise me, I'm begging, please, please, please. Just leave a little love for me. Yeah, leave a little love for me. Just leave a little love for me. Yeah, leave a little love for me. Before you go and leave my life, find paradise in someone else's eyes. Just one thing you promise me, I'm begging, please, please, please. Just leave a little love for me. When I'm drowning in the midnight, I'm trying to mend my broken heart. I could tell you what it feels like, trying to shoot straight in the dark. One step closer, standing on the edge, I'm looking over. Here's through my regrets, it's time for closure, but I can't seem to close the door. Oh no. Before you go and leave my life, find paradise in someone else's eyes. Just one thing you promise me, I'm begging, please, please, please. Just leave a little love for me. Yeah, leave a little love for me. Just leave a little love for me. Yeah, leave a little love for me. Before you go and leave my life, find paradise in someone else's eyes. Just one thing you promise me, I'm begging, please, please, please. Just leave a little love for me. Yeah, leave a little love for me. Oh no. Just leave a little love for me. Yeah, leave a little love for me. Oh no. Before you go and leave my life, find paradise in someone else's eyes. Just one thing you promise me, I'm begging, please, please, please. Just leave a little love for me. Yeah, leave a little love for me. Oh no. Just leave a little love for me. Yeah, leave a little love for me. Oh no.
We don't know what we're doing, but we're standing proud. Sometimes it's so confusing in a world so loud. We connect, burning bright, holding every breath. I won't sink into regret. I never will forget what you said. We are, we are, we are, we are love. We are, we are, we are, we are love. We are, we are, we are, we are love. We are, we are, we are, we are love.
YouTube, I'm Kitty, and today we are playing some RuneScape. Aww, did I throw it under the bed? I'm sorry, baby. Oh, she got it. So I do have a little bit of news since the last time that I was on. So I was AFKing some fishing, and I did end up getting another shard, so we actually have 4 now. We are halfway to our golden party hat. So, I think we're just gonna keep Yak Tracking until we get to, I think, rank 15. We get another shard. So we're pretty close. That shard. And actually, Santa has a gift for me. Alright, Marks of War is crafted. I think that was just XP too. Yeah, base XP. What is up, BB? You want to say hi? You want to say hi? No, you want to play. You want to play? I kind of feel like harps aren't that good for XP. It's gonna probably take me forever if I try and do harps for crafting experience. How do I do that? Wait, it wasn't snowing in here yesterday, was it? Oh. Oh, that's cute. It's snowing! Yay! There should be a place where you can do snow angels. Why isn't there a place where you can do snow angels? No, don't give me attitude, miss. So rude. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. How rude.
That old real shit.
Cause I'm over you. I am over you.
Where are you going? You can have it. No? You want me to have it? Good catch.
Unconditional, with intention. Stay right here for you. Silver lining. You gotta pick your battles, choose your war. Everything we have is gone, so hold it low, hold it low, hold it low.
Oh my god, it's so pretty in here! I want to make a snowman. guess it's probably the most productive thing you can do.
Say it again. You won't. You won't.
You won't do it.
Feeling the pressure every second of the day. I must be able to cut loose and let it go. Always looking for something better I can show. Traveling in my imagination. Lucky for being part of the universe. I gotta keep moving on. Just as long as I don't hurt anyone, I'll do whatever I want. Keep moving on. Just as long as I don't hurt anyone, I'll do whatever I want.
Say hi. You can see her ears. Oops.
Feeling you might as well give up this losing game.
Shark.
You must be able to cut loose and let it go. Always looking for something better you can show. Traveling in your imagination. Lucky for being part of the universe. You gotta keep moving on. Just as long as you don't hurt anyone, so do whatever you want. Keep moving on. Just as long as you don't hurt anyone, so do whatever you want. I gotta keep moving on. Keep moving on.
I was on an adventure to become the world's first case unboxing millionaire. I failed, but only a fool would quit while he's in the red. So today I'll be unboxing Operation Riptide cases until I get myself a knife. Some people say it can't be done, others think I'm guaranteed to make a loss. But I'll prove those people wrong. How, you ask? Like this. Off to a good start with the Yak Track restricted factory new booster protocol worth a stunning $4.52. I'm well on my way to becoming a millionaire. First classified skin, a field-tested Turbo Peak. Sadly, still not worth the unboxing price. Now, the Yak Track Black Lotus is the knife. A field-tested covert ocean drive. My most valuable piece yet, but I want myself a knife. And there it is, a knife. People said it was impossible. People said I was crazy. Well, who's crazy now? Unfortunately, I haven't recouped my costs, ending the session $151 down. But I think we can all agree that we've had a hell of a lot of fun. Next, I'll be opening 2021 Mirage Collection thingies until I get myself an ink desert hydro. How much profit do you think I'll make? Leave your answers in the comment section below. Soon, I'll be a millionaire. The world's second case.
I was that upset with $150 loss. I would be pretty happy with that. Like, he said he's gonna do Desert Hydra. Or he's gonna do like 5 Desert Hydra. That's, yeah, that one, oh my gosh. I feel like you could spend just way too much money. Figured it.
I could count.
Santa's come to RuneScape.
Even when I'm in so deep,
He brought
it gets
double
hard to
XP.
see you're still on it. I've been lost by myself in the darkness. Know that I can find my way even on the days when it's hard. But I still need you to ease my load. Hold me when the lightning strikes. Need home.
Oh, hey guys. You caught me pooping. And that's fine. I mean, we all do it. Some of you might even be pooping right now while you watch this. So today, we're going to learn how to do our business with proper and respectful commentating. Now, here's what I'm watching. Like The Red Ape Family, Season 1, Episode 1, NFT series. It's not very good, though. And resume.
I'm Winky, he's Chucky. These young monkeys are Caesar and Hunky, and the dog's Rocky. Oh, and this is Dr. Nwatiti, our family doctor / hypnotherapist / the last guest you want at the dinner party.
My cholesterol is gonna go up after.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening here. All the characters are NFTs that are worth money, and that's the only reason this thing exists. You know, the internet's giving this video a really hard time. I have to say, it's not good.
What the fuck is this awful shit I just watched? I have no clue what the fuck is going on in this shit. All of the budget on this show is spent on a stupid picture of a moon. Fuck, this is god awful. Wow, this is actually fucking garbage. This looks like a pile of dog shit. Holy shit, this sucks. I right-clicked every single frame of this. Can I screenshot? Screenshot it.
Ah, yes, the old screenshot the NFT joke. That never gets old. Anyway, here's how to properly comment on an NFT cartoon. Yo, sorry people are hating on you. It's just that these days everyone's got a little checklist of things they need to shit on, and you happen to make an entire show around one of those things. That thing, of course, being Saudi Arabian laundered money. Yeah, for some reason, that's just not floating people's boats right now. But it's cool. Laundered Saudi money will be useless when the fresh water becomes more valuable than oil, and then maybe all these folks can look back on this series as a forgotten classic. I'm all about shows based around NFTs, by the way. Hopefully, at least me being able to buy those Real Housewives characters as NFTs so I can legally launch them all into deep space. Good point of privilege, though. Maybe hire a writer. You know, like a writer. Someone who writes. You're going to want a writer and post and watch. You're going to want... All right. Time for breakfast. I'm hungry. Oh, yeah. Prunes and coffee.
Oh my
Breakfast
gosh,
and jam.
this person died to a crawling penis. That's
Oh, no, not again. Oh, where's my pooping hoodie? I gotta wear a
Oh,
in case I throw
well,
up.
we're gonna just
weirded out ignore that. Right. It's actually a very natural thing. It's like I said, everyone poops. Even President Joe Biden poops. But since he's such a busy guy, he's got to do it in his pants in the Vatican. Joe Biden pooped his pants in the Vatican. This is how I get my news. And put.
Biden pooped his pants when he met the Pope.
Ooh, how salacious. In the house of our Lord, no less.
President Biden's trip to Rome to meet the Pope ahead of the G20 was a bit messier than expected, according to unofficial media accounts.
Oh, you're gonna regret that one, Biden.
On Thursday, the Vatican created a stir by suddenly canceling the live broadcast of President Biden meeting with Pope Francis without providing an explanation.
Don't blame me. I voted for Bob Dole.
It's holy shit since it was at the Vatican. I've pooped my pants before. To use the first-time prisoner defense, that's when you poop your pants to prevent being someone's boyfriend.
All right, well, quick heads up on this, but this comment might actually get me in trouble with one of the sex reps. This is probably the first time something came out of the asshole in the Vatican, if you know what I mean. These Vatican boys sure know how to party. Good thing there's no girls allowed or they might get jealous. I'd sure hate to be the Vatican janitor who has to clean up after all these old queens when they're done having costume parties and slaying each other's bones. By the way, the only reason Catholics hate abortion so much is because it means less children to have sex with. And post. I'm gonna have to change my shirt after this one. All right, well that felt great. Now where was it? Oh, that's right. I was playing video games and telling people to go to buyraycon.com/bigmoney. Today's spots. All right, well I already told everybody in that other game to buy Raycon, so let me try a new game. This is like a haunted house game where you hunt ghosts. Hey guys, just to let you know that me playing this game is brought to you by buyraycon.com/bigmoney. Yeah, because you'll save big money when you go to buyraycon.com/bigmoney and use code HOLIDAY for 15% off. Now what are we doing? Are we summoning a ghost here or what?
Give me a sign. Are you here?
Guys, what if I start advertising Raycons? Do you think the ghost will show up?
Advertise it.
Oh, okay. Well, Raycons give you amazing audio quality while you're on the go at half the price of other top audio brands.
What's your code?
It's buyraycon.com/bigmoney. Use code HOLIDAY for 15% off.
Yeah, Raycons. Get some Raycons. I want some Raycons too.
Whoa, what the fuck is that? Guys, I think something's in the corner.
There is something in the corner.
Yeah, I hope it wants to hear about this new rubber oil looking film, these everyday earbuds. Oh god, what the fuck's going on? What is happening? Oh, where the hell am I? Oh, I'm dead? Ah, that stupid ghost team killed me.
What's with you promoting Raycons?
Well, it's because I love the sleek, low-profile fit of my everyday earbud. Not to mention the built-in mic so you can take calls on the go. And hey, Raycons come with a 45-day happiness guarantee, so go to buyraycon.com/bigmoney.
45 days? Okay, the guarantee doesn't matter because, like, you're gonna be happy.
Exactly. Hey, you know what my favorite thing to do with my Raycons is?
What? What's your favorite thing?
I like to listen to true crime podcasts while I work out.
I like to listen to music when I'm cleaning my room. So could I use my Raycon for that?
Well, of course, and plus they come with a handy little charging case that keeps your earbuds charged no matter where you go.
That's true. That's true.
Makes the perfect holiday gift.
I take a shit while I listen to music from the toilet with my Raycon earbuds.
I don't see why not. You'll be happy to know that you can always get the perfect fit with a selection of customizable gel tips. Those Raycons are going to stay snug in your ear no matter how much you're violently thrashing around.
Do they come in different colors and customization styles?
That's it, yeah. Use code HOLIDAY and enjoy that 15% off. Say, what the fuck is this ghost? Can it hear us?
The ghost can hear you, but it doesn't really care. Just don't say its name. Ghost's name.
Okay, so the name is Betty Miller. Betty Miller! Hey, Betty Miller, you want some Raycons?
Oh, fuck me. Oh, fuck me.
Oh, shit, what did I do?
Hunting, so you might want to run away.
Hunting? What the fuck does that mean?
Stop talking, because it'll kill you otherwise.
I think it's okay. Betty Miller just wants some Raycons. Isn't that right, Betty Miller? You dumb ghost bitch. Shut up. And I'm dead again.
I'm sorry to say the Raycon, the ghost doesn't like Raycons anymore.
Man, that game was so scary, I gotta take a shit. Go to buyraycon.com/bigmoney and use code HOLIDAY for 15% off your order. Raycon, the ghosts don't like it.
Hey guys, now I'm pooping in the office bathroom. Yeah, that's right, I had to get a side gig. I work for this company called Better.com. You know, the economy, you gotta have multiple jobs. But anyway, the cool part about this is that I clock in, I go straight to the bathroom, and then I shit for 6 hours until it's time to clock out. It's so great. And the best part is, they're not even gonna care. This company just got like 275 million extra bucks or something like that. So like, it's no big deal. Plus, you know I got some good stuff to watch while I'm in here for so long. Let's check it out.
Michelle Garg, CEO of Better.com, fires 900 employees over Zoom meeting.
Wait, what the hell's this?
Thanks for joining. I come to you with not great news. This is the second time in my career I'm doing this, and I do not want to do this. The last time I did it, I cried. This time I hope to be stronger.
Oh shit, no, come on, don't fire us, man.
But we are laying off about 15% of the company. The market and performances and productivity.
Why does this woman sound fake?
If you're on this call, you are part of the unlucky group being laid off.
Oh, you know what? I was supposed to be on this call, but instead I just went and took a poop.
We're all U.S. employees. We're providing 4 weeks.
Oh my god,
of
I
severance.
can't believe this.
Okay, what is going on with the narration here? There's no way this is the original audio. Oh, wait, here it is.
Are you fucking kidding me? What does this mean for what's next? You're going to get an email from HR, askhr@better.com, your personal email address. According to you.
Okay, so if that's the original audio, then that means that this person re-uploaded the video and then dubbed her own voice over that guy who was the one actually getting fired to make it sound like she was the one getting fired.
Enthusiastically as we were at the beginning of this.
Well, that's fucking weird.
This is not real.
Oh, look at that. She just talked right over a jump cut. You know what? I'm fired. Why am I even here? I'm gonna go take my poop home. See ya.
Oh yeah, that's better. I can actually bring a camera into this bathroom, so that's a bonus right there. So where were we? Oh right, this weirdo's got a YouTube channel where she's like uploading other people's videos of them getting laid off and then dubbing her voice over it to steal sympathy. And it's working.
To the person filming, I'm so sorry this happened to you. Oh, and she hearted it, you fucking liar. I am sorry this happened to you. These jackass CEOs seem to always pick the absolute worst time to do this to anyone. You will bounce back better than before. Well, that was heartbreaking. Now keep your head up, don't look back, you got this. I am sorry, may God provide you an even better job. If there was a God, this grifter wouldn't be worth $1 billion.
That person's referring to the CEO, no doubt, but I think the real grifter here is the person who uploaded this video. This is the first time I've seen someone try to profit off of someone else losing their job, you re-uploading stolen valor piece of shit. Here's an idea. If you're going to record over the person who originally uploaded, try not to talk through the jump cuts. This is just another sad reminder that for whatever good intentions the internet was created with, it stands today as a testament to the shameless, conniving greed that every single person on the planet harbors within them. Thanks to the internet, I have seen far too much of humanity to feel at peace in this world. Shame on you, and that CEO guy seemed kind of cool, actually. Big alpha energy going on there. You love to see it. And post. Man, I wasn't kidding with that comment either. It used to be pooping was a rare moment of relief from life, stress, and distractions. But nowadays, we just take all that stuff in here with us on our phone. I'm in my case of gigantic laptop. I finished pooping 5 minutes ago, by the way, but I'm still here because I keep finding cool new stuff to watch. Poop rap song, freestyle, best ever. Oh wow, 2012? I didn't even have a smartphone in 2012. Simpler times. Times when you could do a poop rap song, freestyle, best ever.
Alright, what should I rap about, yo? Rap about pooping in your pants, man. Okay.
Oh.
I poop in the ghetto. I poop in the hood. I'm an OPG, original poop gangster. I poop right in your face, pull out my pants, and I give you a taste. They call me Mr. Cooper. I poop while I'm watching Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Oh, okay.
When I poop in public, this shit is sick. I fucking poop on your dick.
Poop on my dick?
Rubber dub dub. I like to poop in the tub.
This is hitting me right in the feels.
I rap about doo-doo. I poop more than you do. My style is like voodoo. Got more money than Jews do.
Whoa, okay, whoa.
I'm a diarrhea kind of guy. My name is Rob and I'm not retarded.
Alright, well, it's a different time, it's a different time.
Rob is my name, pooping is my game. Every time I poop, it never looks the same.
Man, he just keeps going.
Taco Bell, cause I get shits from hell. You might pass out just from the smell.
This is what it's all about, folks. You know, for all the tragedy out there in the world, the anger, manufactured or otherwise, and the things that we're supposed to be afraid of, the things that we learn on a daily basis that make our hearts shrivel just a little bit more. Why not just let all that go when we come in here to poop? Why bring it with us? Why not just sit back if you're gonna watch something? Watch a guy do a freestyle rap about poop.
I rap about crap. I dream of poop when I nap. I go to the mall on Christmas, take a shit in Santa's lap. I learned to poop from my dad.
Alright, well, I'm not gonna play the whole thing. It's like 6 minutes long, so.
Oh my god.
MySpace.com/YoRob. Look me up.
Different times, man. Different times.
I emailed this link to my ex-wife. She writes back, "This is why we got a divorce. Love it." Man, tight-ass rhymes. Any fool can rap about killing people and women, but it takes skill to rap about poop. Hope you get signed one day, playa. I'd buy your album. Teletubbies.
Oh, that's what comments looked like 12 years ago. Here's what they look like today. It's funny to think that this video is now old enough to get shot in math class. If people still made YouTube videos like this, there would be no more homeless. Minimum wage would have increased with inflation. The Great Coral Reef would be thriving, and Elon Musk would still be bald. But hey, you tried, man. It's just that society wasn't ready for your message. A message of simpler times, the assumption of a reality you can get back to once you're done laughing at poop jokes on the computer. That reality is gone, replaced with the very thing we invented as a distraction from the doldrums of life. Anyway, can I buy you as an NFT? I already have NFTs of Alf and Deepak Chopra, and I want to make an animated series with the three of you so I can hike up the prices and recoup all the money I lost from investing in Jake Paul crypto. By the way, if you say no, I'm just going to re-upload this on my channel, but with my voice dubbed over. And poop! Alright, folks, well, good night, and don't forget to vote for Bob Dole. Uh-oh, what? Oh no, Bob Dole died? Hang on a second, wait. Hey, lady here, Eric, why didn't you tell me Bob Dole died?
Holy shit, Bob Dole was still alive?
Yes, he was still alive.
I thought he was fucking dead, dude. I don't know.
Well, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what kind of hoodie did Eric just throw up all over? Well, it's this one right here, the Todd hoodie. That's right, we...
My mission is simple, to make you money. I'm here to level the playing field for all investors. There's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to help you find it. Mad Money starts now.
Hey, I'm Kramer. Welcome to Mad Money. Welcome to Kramerica. I've been with my friends trying to make us money. My job is not just to entertain you, but to educate and teach, so call me. 1-800-743-CBC or tweet me at Jim Kramer. Now, if you panic in the teeth of last week's sell-off and ran for the exits, sell. Well, you gotta be kicking yourself right now. Dow surging 492 points, S&P jumping 2.07%, Nasdaq falling 3.03%. But there are no do-overs in this racket anymore, which is why it's so important to get things right the first time.
I found a Kit Kat!
I thought we were all in the past couple weeks, I've been a perfect example of that. You've done much better being calm and sat tight, which has been the case for so often, almost our entire lives. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna walk through this so you never forget it. A coroner's bear inquest. Because I don't want anyone making this mistake again who watches Mad Money. It all goes back to the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, okay? And that's when we learned of the Omicron variant, although it hadn't been named yet. Just some new strain out of South Africa. Suddenly, journalists were speculating about all the new restrictions that we can get hit with as governments around the world steel themselves to take action. Now, I can't blame anyone for being frightened when they market opened on Friday morning. You had a full day of rumination with your family over turkey, a family you might not have seen over a year. The time I don't know about you, but this time we began the festivities with a round of Abbott Labs Buy Next Now. That's become the kind of an appetizer. You had to get tested, right? Fortunately, everyone was negative. But as I pondered my late mother's string bean casserole, you know, the ones with the canned L&O onion rings, I thought, holy cow, what if my trusty Buy Next Now never leave home without it? Can't catch the new variant. What if they don't work? So it turns out they do. Meanwhile, countries everywhere instantly closed the borders because the politicians never stopped fighting the last war. Of course, this seemed logical given that 10% of the 600 passengers who had traveled from South Africa to the Netherlands the day before had COVID, with presumably the majority having the new strain, right? Because it spreads much faster. Pretty logical. Always in the background, a steady drumbeat. Lockdown, 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 lockdown. That litany played out over and over as the market drew to its open the day after Thanksgiving. Okay, now we're talking about here. Now, I called him from home, saying that you can't panic and sell into this maelstrom, and you have to take a lockdown off the table. They're not coming back. Still, it was a holiday session, one with few players, and there was havoc all over the place, the worst being the oil pits. Oil had been so strong that even an actual release of crude from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve by President Biden meant nothing. But then oil met the Omicron strain, and it was like the Saudis decided to flood the world with petrol. Of course, the markets took this crash as an harbinger of what was going to come in stocks, and it was plain ugly. Dow closed, down 900 points. S&P shipped 2%. Over that weekend, though, we didn't hear any new bad news. We all kept waiting for it, right? Remember? Well, we knew there had to be a new outburst. We knew it was coming here, right? Perhaps we had to wait until we got here before you could buy them. But sell, again, without more reports of rampant outbreaks and a spike in deaths, selling made no sense. Remember, this is the acceptable risk moment, people. Oh, and we all learned that the new strain was called Omicron, which was particularly disturbing. It sounded like a second-rate Michael Crichton knockoff. This stuff still holds up. Right then, we should have had a tell that maybe things weren't as bad as the media and the World Health Organization was making them out. The WHO doesn't want to get its pants put down again, but apparently it overcorrected. I knew I felt much better after listening to CBC's own Meg Terrell interview Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla and Moderna CEO Stefan Bancel, both of whom sounded pretty sanguine about the new strain. I even asked Meg on the 9 o'clock show whether I was right to think that both gentlemen, whom I think are shoo-in for Times Persons of the Year, sounded pretty upbeat. I felt great. We all went home thinking good thoughts. Dow rallied 236 points, far short of what it lost the previous session. But still, certainly positive. Of course, that was shattered last Tuesday when we read an interview the night before that Stefan Bancel from Moderna had given the Financial Times. It sounded like a wholesale repudiation of what he had just told May. Speaking of his own vaccine, Bancel, and I quote, said, "There is no world, I think, where it could be at the same level of effectiveness we have with Delta," end quote. Then he talked about a, quote, material drop, end quote, in effectiveness, capping it all off by noting that all of the scientists he talked to had told him, quote, "This is not going to be good," end quote. Well, I mean, you want to see what happens when you have the most important person other than Bourla in this whole thing, the guy who's got it right? What happens when he changes his mind? Well, you go from here, that's the positive Bancel, to here, the negative one. That interview crushed the entire stock market the next day. Who knew more about than the CEO of Moderna, right? We tried to rally, we just couldn't get any traction. We didn't have any other news about Omicron. We had to rely on what Bancel had to say. That allowed for Wednesday, though, because nothing new again happened, to have a decent day. Not great, not bad. But it all unraveled Thursday when we heard that Apple was calling suppliers, telling them that they don't need more product. Sales were weak. We don't want any more product. We have way too many phones. That was the narrative. Now, I went on air to say that was just inconceivable. Apple doesn't do that. They don't. And even if they did, the suppliers wouldn't talk about it. Same time, though, we were beginning to get a different feeling about Omicron. No one in the media wanted to say point blank, but we started to suspect that even if this strain was very infectious, it might be a lot less severe than Delta, especially if you're vaccinated. Now fast forward to today. What have we learned here? Well, first it turns out that yes, Omicron's not going to redestroy the Western world. It's not the Delta variant 2.0. The fact that it's supplanting the Delta variant as the dominant strain may actually be a very good thing, because getting Omicron is more like getting a vaccine than getting COVID. And that's good news. We also learned that Apple didn't call its suppliers to roll back its orders. According to Katie Huberty, the Morgan Stanley analyst, who's what we call the axe in Apple, meaning the woman who has the best understanding of the stock and the most power, business is booming. And that's why she raised her price target from 164 to a sounding 200. If you took your cue from last week's panic, you would have sold your Apple down $157, off about 4% at the time, nearly 8% below where it closed tonight. You simply held it. Remember, if you owned Apple and didn't trade it, you'd have a nice 2-week run to an all-time high of 171, trading further up after the close. Now, that is the reason why I say I don't want you trading Apple. Yeah, let's talk about it after the close. Why it's still going up. See, we got a report from a Japanese news outlet that Apple can't get enough supplies to meet demand. That's right. That instead of saying, hey, listen, we have too many supplies, now they're begging for supplies. You know what? Live by the sword, die by the sword. I take that story with a grain of salt, too. Supplier stories aren't to be trusted. But Morgan Stanley's Huberty is. Now, looking back, it's hard to believe that no one really seemed to consider the possibility that the Omicron strain might not be that severe. The authorities sure made it sound like the worst-case scenario was the only scenario. So did Stefan Mansell, a man who we've come to trust. He really annihilated the stock market, and I know he didn't mean to. But so far, it's been much better than feared. And it's certainly hard to believe Apple could have fallen 4% in a single session, taking down the whole tech edifice, especially its suppliers, all of which plummeted.
Christmas is right around the corner, and you know what Santa Claus brought to one lucky YouTuber this holiday season? A lump of coal and 150 takedown notices on their YouTube channel. I guess Mr. Claus really wanted to speed run a world record for most videos taken down in a single day because god damn. He whipped out his jolly old Saint Dick and slapped it right across this YouTuber's face. Today, a channel called Totally Not Mark, who has a history of covering Toei animation properties such as the Dragon Ball franchise and One Piece, posted this video saying that 150 videos of theirs were taken down by Toei Animations. He goes on to state that they were unjustly taken down because his content is transformative, it reviews, it critiques, it analyzes the properties without just re-uploading them or anything like that, thus it should be protected by fair use. Which it is. Now, if his channel was just playing a completely unedited One Piece episode while he's stuffing his face with popcorn, greasy-fingered, and playing with his nipples or something, and not really doing anything, and just having the whole episode uploaded with him just sitting there, then they'd have a case for they are stealing the content, thus we're going to take down his video on it. But his whole channel is about the review of anime and discussing it and analyzing it, and he completely transforms that content, and it's not like he's using extensive amounts of like unedited clips from the shows or the manga that he's looking at either. So he's in the right in thinking that it is some bullshit, but if you've been on YouTube for any length of time really, you'll know that anime companies don't give a fuck about fair use. They don't give a shit, especially Toei Animations. You'll remember Team 4-Star, the people behind Dragon Ball Z Abridged? They had a video taken down and a strike on their channel while they were doing a cameo in the official Dragon Ball Z Kai show. So Toei literally had them doing a cameo while they were fucking them in the ass on YouTube. And in Mark's video here, he actually tells a similar story. Toei Animations apparently reached out to Mark and his channel in order to promote their content on it. And then they go and bury 150 of his videos, just throw that right in the shitter. To be honest, the most surprising thing about this video is the fact that they didn't strike his channel. Usually when Toei Animation has gone on these supervillain rampages, they don't just take down the videos and block them, they strike the channel for each video. So this really could have been 150 strikes in a single day for Mark and his channel. They could have banished him to the Shadow Realm. 150 strikes all at once just sends him straight to hell. That's usually how they conduct business when they go nuts to butts. This isn't the first time they've attacked YouTubers before, as I mentioned Team 4-Star, but they've also just attacked all kinds of content creators no matter their size, just for the most innocent shit. Like if there's a video of an 8-year-old drawing Goku on a piece of paper in crayon, they'll probably strike down that video at some point. They just are ruthless and they don't give a fuck. So I'm not surprised to see they did this, it's just always upsetting when they do. I'm sure if he fought each of these claims, he would get the videos reinstated over time. But it's such a tedious, laborious process, and he mentions that as well, that it just takes so long. It would take years and years in order to get all of them back through that process. And I know a lot of people are blaming YouTube for it, and YouTube's a lot at fault because they have the tools that allows a company like this to abuse them. And it is always frustrating to see how hands-off they are when their system gets abused. They just say, oh, we'll just handle it with them. You guys can take care of it. We're not going to do shit about it. Fuck it. You guys go, you know, play in the sandbox and make sandcastles with legal disputes. We're not touching it. That's always fucking awful, but I think people really need to focus on the fact that it is Toei Animations that have chose to abuse this shit and attack content creators. And it's not just YouTubers, by the way. I know they've done this on a lot of like anime sites that just like to talk about anime and just go over and critique certain things. I know for a fact they have also issued legal takedowns for other websites as well over the years. They truly just don't give a fuck about anyone else and are just so stuck in these archaic ways where they have to like lock down their property and rule it with an iron fist where no one else is allowed to even mention it unless they have paid Toei Animations money to do so. No matter how within their rights they are to critique and review anime and even show images and clips from their shows, they don't care because they will drown out that with legal notices in their legal department. Toei Animations has a lot of money and they can bully people around with it, and they do, and they have for a long time. This is just the most recent and the most grand example. 150 videos in a single day is nuts. They were taking down one video every 3 minutes, judging by like the emails he showed. They were going wild. They had some intern at the office working overtime. Dude was going fucking Ultra Instinct, double fisting mice, issuing takedowns at light speed. Just to really fuck Mark's channel here in the ass. It's just really sad, and there is something else I'd like to talk about that's not just this, but it's related. Japan has this problem and this really out of touch view on the internet, and this is just another example of it. They view this channel as like a threat to their property, or it's infringing on their property and it's bad for them. It's not promotional unless they say it is, and that extends beyond just Toei Animations and the anime industry in general. I'd like to quickly tell you a story about an agency in Japan called Johnny and Associates. They represent a lot of big groups in Japan, a lot of big influencers, and just very important people and celebrities in Japan. They rep them, and they are fucking scary. They're less of a talent agency and more of a corrupt military. So if you've played the Yakuza series, you've probably also heard of Judgment. Judgment stars a very popular Japanese actor named Takuya Kimura. Takuya Kimura is represented by Johnny and Associates, and there's a reason why the most recent Judgment game will be the last one most likely, and it's because they're so afraid of the internet and having Kimura's picture on the internet. They take this so seriously that when he is doing something without their complete blessing, they will take the publication and blank him out. Here's an example. He was on this magazine cover, and then Johnny and Associates decided they didn't really want him there, so they pulled the magazine cover and then grayed him out, literally censored him. He looks like an upcoming challenger in Super Smash Bros. Melee. So they turned him into this gray silhouette because they were afraid with the PC port of this game, his image would appear on the internet, and that's a scary place for a lot of companies in Japan, it seems. So they like the complete control, and they feel like if his image was on the internet, they'd lose that ability to control everything. And that extends to other places in Japan like Toei Animation and like Nintendo. Who remembers about 10 years ago, you couldn't even post videos of Nintendo games on YouTube without risking your channel being taken down, because they would actively strike any videos that showed like Mario Kart Wii or Super Mario Galaxy or anything like that. They would strike your channel because you didn't have their express written permission to showcase that, even though you were totally within your right to review those games or, you know, talk about those games, analyze those games. They didn't care. Nintendo would still go and take down channels because they wanted that complete full control over it. So it's not just Toei Animation, it's a big problem in just all of these industries in Japan, it seems, and anime's a big one. So now, what can the Totally Not Mark channel do in order to fight these 150 claims without going through each one individually and trying to, like, take it through litigation and get it solved legally? Because that's just going to take years. I think he said it'd take like 37 years to go through the proper channels. So what does he do? I think posting the video is the right first step, and he mentions that he will no longer be supporting the company. And he's a big channel, and I imagine a lot of his followers are very upset at Toei Animations for doing this. So him not supporting that company anymore, and he said he's not going to see any more like Dragon Ball Super, like their new movie, he's not going to see it. And he's encouraging his subscribers and his fans to do the same. And I think that's the right way of handling it. They need to put pressure on Toei Animations to realize that what they did was wrong and release the claims themselves. They went through the trouble of filing 150 blocks on those videos. They can go through the trouble of unblocking them. It is an absolute bogus bullshit reason they gave for the blocking. It was completely transformative material from everything I can see on the channel. So there should have been absolutely no ground for them to do that in the first place, but they abused a broken system and got away with it for now. I do hope for a good ending to the story for the Totally Not Mark channel. I really hope the videos do get reinstated. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about it because it is just a fucked up situation all around. That's about it. So yeah.
Prices for just.
What? You just play with me. Play with me some more. I've got to go potty. I'll be right back.
Just about everything are rising fast. In October 2021, inflation took its biggest jump in more than 30 years. It's hitting specific parts of the economy hardest. Drivers face a 59% increase at the pump compared to 1 year ago. The average used vehicle is selling for 26% more than it was a year ago. Vacation homes are renting out at a premium too.
Nobody likes inflation. Nobody wants to pay higher prices for anything, really.
Maintaining stable prices is one of the Federal Reserve's main responsibilities. In recent decades, the economy has hummed below the central bank's target rate.
Now, post-pandemic, the Fed, they want inflation, at least for a while, to be above 2%. And they'll get exactly what they want simply because of the acceleration in rent growth.
Critics say there are signs of turmoil in the economy the Fed isn't hearing.
I think it's pretty darn clear that the Fed cannot control inflation on the downside or the upside, given the current experience.
The central bank has its defenders too.
The weight of the evidence is finally going Pal's way. Team Transitory is going to win.
There's a lot of reasons to think that inflation is transitory. It doesn't mean it's going to be 2 months. It could be a year, but it's not going to be 4 or 5% a year over the next 5 years.
In the backdrop, governments are spending big to keep society afloat. The U.S. Treasury's debt is managed by the Fed. The bank's assets swelled as it printed trillions of dollars to backstop the country. Which leads to the question, can the Federal Reserve control inflation? And if so, what could it do to rein in the cost of living in the United States? The people who manage the U.S. economy prefer to keep inflation around 2%. That's because a low and steady rate produces a healthy business environment. These rates are tracked in categories like food, energy, and housing. These components are then weighted against one another to establish their importance. The final scores that are produced are then recorded over time. The primary one you hear about on the news is called the Consumer Price Index. It tracks all of the spending from 93% of the U.S. population. Then there's the trend mean inflation, which throws out outlier data and focuses on core prices. Movements in the trend mean signal a more potent inflationary trend. Then there's the PCE.
The Fed really prefers to look at PCE, that is Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index.
The Fed's preferred measure of inflation is broader than the trend mean, but it throws out some data from the energy and food sectors. That's because prices take bigger swings in these industries more frequently. What's included and what's excluded from each inflation index impacts its reliability. Some, like Danielle DiMartino Booth, a former Dallas Fed employee, believe that the PCE is flawed.
My biggest issue with the PCE is that for your average American household, you spend between 40 and 50% of your income on housing. If you look at it through that simple of a prism and understand that the PCE's input for housing is only around 22%, then you see that you're undercounting household biggest expense by a wide margin.
In the fall of 2021, the PCE numbers spiked to generational highs. When events like that happen, public officials turn to the Fed for answers. The Federal Reserve was originally set up to create a stable American banking system. Its role has expanded over its century-long existence. In 1977, Congress gave it a dual mandate.
Part of that mandate is to maximize employment. The other part of that mandate is to stabilize prices or to basically keep inflation in check.
Wilson says that the Fed's ability to manage inflation depends on the extent to which inflation is driven by the labor market.
We're currently seeing inflationary pressures largely because people have shifted their consumption from purchase of services to purchase of goods. That has caused demand for goods to outpace the supply of goods for a period of time that buyers did not have adequate time to really respond to that increased demand.
In 2021, a sputtering global supply chain and backed-up ports are causing delays. Many people, including the leaders of the Fed, don't believe the economy has settled. Chair Powell previously said this bout of inflation is transitory, but now he's walking back from using that language.
Just being a jerk.
We tend to use it to mean that it won't leave a permanent mark in the form of higher inflation. I think it's probably a good time to retire that word and try to explain more clearly.
The central bank believes current conditions don't change the long-term outlook. That's because in recent years, inflation has actually been lower than what the Fed wanted.
Pre-pandemic, inflation was soft. The Federal Reserve had a 2% inflation target below 2%. Now, post-pandemic, the Fed is saying they changed their they want inflation, at least for a while, to be above 2%.
Oh my gosh.
And they'll get exactly what they want simply because of the acceleration in rent growth.
In 2019, newly elected Chair Powell argued that
Maybe we'll
long-term
just stay going
expectations
this
of
way.
inflation were low. Experts observing the labor market reported that the interest rate liftoff that began in
You slide a little
2019
too far
cut
in
the
the
recovery
hallway.
short. Then, an unexpected event, the pandemic, pushed the central bank to create
Accommodative financial conditions.
That means dropping interest rates, which in theory will make prices rise more quickly.
Nobody likes inflation. Nobody wants to pay higher prices for anything.
Economists believe that expectations are the primary driver of inflation.
People think inflation's going to be
She's
high.
gonna lose it under the
They're
bed.
going to say, "Hey,
I
Mr. Employer,
guarantee
you got to
you.
pay me you got to give me a bigger pay increase because inflation's
And
going
then
to be
she's
high."
gonna come whining to
So this
mommy.
then says if he thinks or she thinks inflation's going to be high, they say, "Fine, no problem. I'll give you a bigger pay increase, and then I'll pass along the higher price increase to consumers." And then, lo and behold, people's expectations, their views of the future inflation actually results in higher inflation. That's the problem.
A wage raise means the corresponding rise in prices, unless productivity is increased proportionately.
What do you want, a guy with 4 arms?
But even people within the Fed think these models are broken. In September 2021, a senior economist at the Board of Governors published a paper. It was titled, "Why Do You Think That
I can't
Inflation
throw it if you don't
Expectations
let me
Matter
have
for Inflation?"
That's definitely a non-consensus view.
The paper argues that the field of mainstream
I really
economics
wanna help
provides
you,
cover
but
for a quote,
it's hard to
unoppressive,
throw it when you don't let me
unsustainable,
have
and unjust social order.
No.
The paper reflects the
yet.
views of a wider movement of people
You
who
just let
think
me
the
know when
Fed
you're
needs reform.
There was an internal
No?
debate inside the Fed.
She's not mentally prepared
2009
yet.
and 2010. Why did we miss the financial crisis? Why did we miss the subprime crisis? And it was determined at the time that the Fed's inflation model really was broken. Because had it incorporated securities prices, had it properly incorporated the price of housing, residential real estate,
Okay. I
then
guess I
the
won't
Fed
do
wouldn't
it.
have been blindsided ahead of the financial crisis. So what they did after writing all
you
these
ready now?
white papers and determining that they needed a new inflation regime was nothing. And because they needed this broken model to hide behind, which systematically understates inflation so that they could keep easier monetary policy than they would otherwise to
have
prop
it?
up the stock market.
Many people who watch the Fed cite breakdowns in models like the Phillips curve. The Phillips curve is a model that economists use to make interest rate decisions. The model contains two inputs, inflation rates and employment data. Various forces shift where the economy is along the curve at any point. When the employment indicators point to a tight labor market,
Hey, that's
the
me.
plot of the Phillips curve shifts to the left. That means that there are more jobs open than there are workers to fill the roles. That also increases the pressure on employers to raise wages, which means higher rates of inflation. The Fed can control inflation when it's coming from the labor market.
Their main tool for doing that is the federal funds rate, and by lowering that rate, it tends to help spur economic growth, job creation. And when they raise that rate, it slows that growth and the resulting job creation. The reason for doing that
Yeah,
is
you're way ahead of
if
me
there
there,
were
so I
concerns
can't help you
about
much.
inflation growing too fast or potentially getting out of control because the unemployment rate is too low and starting to put upward pressure on prices because there is upward pressure on inflation.
Some economists believe that in 2019, the official models produced an error. That year, unemployment dropped to 3.5%. When unemployment gets this low, the Phillips curve tells us that prices should start to rise. The Fed started to hike interest rates before sending them back down in the pandemic.
I think one of the things that we have learned coming out of that recession and more recently is that the economy has probably been further from what would be a genuine level of full employment.
Some say that the failure to lift off interest rates is a mistake that the country will have to pay for in the future.
Jay Powell in 2018, 2019 found out that he couldn't raise interest rates. So he failed to get interest rates to his own personal stated target.
Oh, I'm sorry.
When you have a Federal Reserve that one cycle after another, they try to resolve an underlying issue of over-indebtedness, whether it was the household sector before the financial crisis or the corporate sector.
Your
before
head is
COVID hit.
hard.
Every time they have a crisis hit, they try and solve the problem of over-indebtedness by putting more debt into the economy.
Others still believe that the country is in an extraordinary time that calls for emergency measures.
The current environment that we find ourselves in is extremely unusual. All of that really is affecting inflation in a way that we wouldn't typically see during the normal course of how the economy functions.
In recent decades, outside forces changed labor in fundamental ways.
When unions were a force to be reckoned with, and when employees had the upper hand, then there was a very tight relationship between inflation and wage inflation. So you could have this spiral of rising wages. When we started to de-unionize the country, when employers started to outsource to India and other countries, and started exporting deflation because its labor was so much cheaper.
Oh no!
All of these elements ended up giving employers the upper hand over employees in America. So the efficacy of the Phillips curve started to become kind of outmoded. And there wasn't this immediate feedback effect from rising prices into rising wages.
Policy decisions informed by models of the Phillips curve have had a real impact on American workers.
The wages and benefits of a typical worker were suppressed in the period 4 decades after 1979. Why is that? Well, it's not because the economy is doing poorly or because of automation or because of low productivity growth. In fact, it is because of policies which generated a situation where wages were suppressed. Excessive unemployment because of failed macroeconomic policy, monetary and fiscal policy, to the bashing of unions, to the decline in union membership, the failure to increase the minimum wage along with inflation, various new policies.
Definitely don't have
corporations forcing people to sign non-competes and forced arbitration agreements.
As a result, leaders are making adjustments to prepare for the new normal.
Longer-term inflation expectations we have long seen as an important driver of actual inflation. And
literally
these inflationary pressures may have been holding down inflation more than was generally anticipated.
President Biden nominated Powell for a second term, hoping that would help the Fed maintain its independence.
You. Oh, excuse you.
So I think the strategy.
So much back talk from you, miss.
Stated strategy is to try to keep the job market really tight.
Yeah, I definitely don't have that.
For an extended period. And that means then you'll see stronger wage gains across all incomes, but particularly low wages. But it's, it's a tricky thing and very difficult to pull off.
The Fed has kept interest rates near zero for more than a decade, and the outlook suggests that it will keep rates low for the foreseeable future. That's because the United States and countries around the world have failed to hit their inflation targets in recent years.
The Fed itself was incapable before of creating inflation. It was quote-unquote pushing on a string. So it said, we're going to allow inflation to run hot going forward so that we can try and balance out all of these years and not be able to produce the inflation that we said we wanted to target.
Because it just
of being
sighed.
underneath that 2% target for so many years.
In other words,
Doesn't it normally time out after that, or is that just a normal thing?
We'll need to keep interest rates low to keep the economy afloat. Some say the Fed may be
You never
better
seen
off
one?
pursuing a higher long-term inflation
Yeah.
rate, possibly at 3%. That can fight the expectations of sluggish future growth.
I think the deflationary
this guy
forces
just
continue
went to
to
catch
be
up.
a force,
He missed.
especially up the income ladder. Now that you can put an entire law library into a little chip of big data, you don't need a paralegal in the United States. You can get a paralegal in India.
This guy's
So higher income paying jobs right now are the ones that are at
there you
risk
are.
of being sent over shores. And nobody's
Where'd you
talking
go?
about it. You're actually going to have
Did you get
inflation
it?
in terms of the amount of education.
Oh, it was over there. You just walked by. It was over in that little section over there.
Have the pure certainty of income security.
It was over there. Yeah, go back over this way. It was over that way.
Because a lot of jobs
Into that area.
require a bachelor's degree.
That little
away.
cube
So
there.
that
It was in there.
disinflationary impulse
Yeah.
is going to be there.
But in the short term, the Fed and the
sorry, I
entire
should have
country
checked it.
will wait to see if
If
these
you had
price
said you were
spikes
coming, I
calm.
would've.
There's no obvious direct way the Fed can help. Really, the onus, I think, is
Come this
on
way?
the
He's right
Congress
here.
administration. Lawmakers do have the tools, the ability.
I don't think that the American Rescue Plan created this crisis, or that the Fed's monetary policy has
Nice.
created
That's not bad.
the inflation problem.
I
Their
love the little
ability
fucking
to change,
sparkles with the Santa
the
hat.
interest rate would do something. It would
He's like one of my
slow
favorites.
the pace of the recovery.
Don't judge me.
This video is
The
sponsored
7th annual muffin tier list. Oh, donkey.
7th annual muffin
You
tier
shouldn't
list.
have.
If you've been on this channel long enough, you know that every year in December I do a muffin tier list. And just like baking muffins, some rise, some fall, some stand too tall. I remember the one for 2017. People were furious about where I placed Banana Nut Muffin. I was gonna do a review for Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze today, but Twitter voted for Muffin Tier List instead, and it makes sense. It's been an annual tradition for 7 years now. I know people get very excited for the muffin videos every year, so let's do this. Lemon Poppy Seed. I'm going F tier. Not shut up, shut the fuck up. Hear me out. F tier. I don't dislike the flavor. I just feel like the risk is too high on this muffin. 3 out of 4 times I get a lemon poppy seed muffin, that thing is drier than Gobi's Desert. Personally, I've been burned too many times by this muffin to trust it anymore. Double chocolate muffin. This is Leah's favorite muffin. Leah says this is the best muffin because it's just a cake, and she likes to eat a cake. But this ain't Leah's tier list. This is Donkey tier list. Am I right or am I right? And I say A tier. It is pretty good, actually. Little white
It's pretty good,
muffins.
actually.
Oh, shit. I used to love these when I was a kid. If you brought these in your lunchbox to school, you were like a king among peasants. As an adult, these taste like oil, F tier. French toast muffin. I have never even seen this before, but it looks like monkey bread, and I like monkey bread. So in honor of Donkey Kong, A tier. Churro pull-apart muffin. This isn't real. Where do you even get these muffins from? Cauliflower breakfast muffin. Those look good as hell. I never had these, but I used to make a breakfast pizza, and those were really good. So on the strength of breakfast pizza, I'm gonna put A tier on these muffins. Dorito chip in a Mountain Dew cupcake that is covered in crumbs. This is goblin food. Pumpkin cream cheese muffin. Nope, that is not for me. I do not like all that cream cheese. That's making me gag, actually. That is going off screen. Peanut butter and jelly muffin. They went too far. That is F tier. Lemon Poppy, you just got promoted. Banana nut muffin. Okay. This is like a normal muffin that you can actually. This is goblin food. Pumpkin cream cheese muffin. Nope, that is not for me. I do not like all that cream cheese. That's making me gag, actually. That is going off screen here. Peanut butter and jelly muffin. They went too far. That is F tier. Lemon Poppy, you just got promoted. Banana nut muffin. Okay. This is like a normal muffin that you can actually buy at a store. If you know me, you know I'm like Spider-Man 3. Make me some muffins with nuts in. That's what I'm always saying. I gotta go A tier on a banana muffin. It is Donkey Kong December after all. Skittle deep dish pizza muffin.
I like pizza. Coconut muffins. These aren't real. Nice try, internet. Pumpkin applesauce muffin. This is less real than coconut muffin, but I like applesauce, so maybe I like this. This is just a shot in the dark, B tier, whatever. S'mores muffin. That's a cupcake. Disqualified. Pineapple upside down muffin. That is not a muffin. A tier. Apricot oatmeal muffin. This is another one of those concept muffins, right? Technically, it could be made. It just never has been. This image is most likely a 3D model or something. Pumpkin cheesecake swirl muffin. I hate cheesecake. Egg muffin. Why? Blueberry muffin? ST. Corn dog muffin. I go A tier. Chocolate chip muffin. This is a big one. This could make or break my whole career. I have to be very careful what I say here. A tier. English muffin. That, make or break my whole career. Why does he have to? Dog. Why? Cheesecake. Egg muffin. I have to be very careful what I say here. But it says muffin, but it is a muffin, but it's not. So when you think muffin, you don't think English muffin. But it is muffin. It says muffin in the name. I should have just did Donkey Kong instead. This video is brought to you by Raycon. Pass me the Raycons. Whenever I'm canceling Among Us Sundays, I always make sure to be wearing my Raycons. Whether you're at work or working out. Raycon. What I like to do is put in my Raycons and turn on to do that if cold holiday to get fit. Or Swamp Dog. Where'd he get that big ass rap?
Oh, the content. Oh, the content. Always hugs for BBs.
Hey everyone, so we're doing a studio update video. We've done 2 of these now for this location, where we previously said that we have a new space. We've been working on upfitting that space for about a year now. So it's been an insane amount of work. And that's why over the last several months, we've had periods where we've missed a few days for video because I've been managing this project, all of it, from the more zoomed out stuff to, the toilet paper holders in the bathrooms. I had to choose those, and the doorknobs. So we're getting there, we're almost done. This is an update. Last time we didn't have flooring. I think we didn't have any of the millwork or cabinetry. We were missing most of the electrical. A lot of it had been pre-wired but not finished. And it's made a lot of progress. So we're gonna show you a few things today. We'll go through the testing equipment room, which has been mostly finalized now. That'll have our large fan tester that's coming in, and thermal chambers, things like that in the future. We'll show you the testing suites for standard computers, the film studio, all that stuff. And then we're gonna have an extra video over on Patreon if you wanna check that out on patreon.com/gamersnexus. But for this one, let's get started. Before that, this video is brought to you by ASUS and the ROG Crosshair 8 series of X570 motherboards for AMD. ASUS has both the Crosshair 8 Hero Dark and the Crosshair 8 Extreme available, offering high-end motherboards for high core count AMD systems. We've used the Crosshair series for years, for everything from basic overclocking up to liquid nitrogen overclocking, and we found them easy to work with, particularly for their extremely well-organized BIOS menu. Learn more at the link in the description below. Okay, so major changes. The floor, obviously, is in. So this is a big change where I worked with Andrew on kind of laying a lot of this stuff out and floor selection. Mostly we've gone with carpet and LVT if you care about that stuff. But, in other words, this is not like hardwood. This is vinyl tile. It's luxury vinyl tile is what they call it. Pretty nice though. We have to work on obviously getting all the furniture in. That'll help with things like echo. I'm not sure that that's picking up on camera right now, but I can hear it. and that'll go away with furniture as it comes in. There's a couple of rooms we haven't shown yet, but all over the place actually. Okay, so this is the studio. We've shown you this. This was way different before, where it used to have, against this wall, there's all kinds of countertop. Some of this wall did not exist here. There was a bunch of other equipment back in that corner that we've completely ripped off. It was actually a different room, and now it's part of the studio room. So we have darker colored walls in here intentionally. This helps a lot with lighting control, and I mean, it's cool. Everyone has liked walking into this room because it's a cool transition from the rest of the office, where it feels like a different space, and clearly is a different space as soon as you walk in. So over here is just a corner where they used to have a bunch of, it was completely different, like I said. This was a hole in the ceiling in the past. I guess we're gonna have someone nitpick like small stuff. So we haven't had the crew go through for construction clean yet. They're still doing construction actively in other parts of the space, and it'll all be cleaned up at the end. We'll do some cool stuff with it though. See you, Andrew. This is a hallway. Okay, so this is the production room. This will be where we do a lot of seating for the sort of desk work, so video editing, writing. Pretty much everyone will sit in here for the bulk of their job, unless maybe filming either on camera or behind a camera or testing. So testing is mostly done in other rooms. That's how we do it now too. It's just the rooms are smaller and fewer, but we still have kind of the core concept of keeping everyone grouped together for working on reading the videos, other than the data collection, and then grouped together for working on collecting test data for the videos. So a few small changes for this room. There's power pole in a couple places just because it's large enough that you need to get power from somewhere if we have stuff in the middle of the room. So power pole's in. I don't know, floor, not a lot. Other than that, this room was very easy to work with. There used to be a couple weird height walls in here that we removed early on. There was some millwork and cabinetry over here from a previous occupant, but we had that taken out so we could make more use of the space for our uses. And next door is the testing room. So actually, despite the increase in size of the operation physical size, we end up closer as a team between the testing and production rooms, whereas now they're further apart. So these end up closer despite having a lot more space. This isn't much to speak of. I mean, we already have a break room for actual kitchen use. This is more intended for, well, it was already here, so it's pretty nice quality. I didn't have to pay to put it in. I would have had to pay to take it out, and it's nice enough I didn't want to do that. So a lot of the stuff in the building along the way, we thought about how can we turn what exists into an asset rather than paying to remove something that might be useful. We didn't always do that. Sometimes it makes more sense to start fresh. But this, Patrick and I were thinking, we're gonna have a wet bench in here for testing open loop components anyway. Probably just put a wet bench station right here for open loop parts on this side of the wall. And then this makes it easy enough to drain the loop. So small stuff like that. It's not like a huge value add, but it's certainly easier. And like I said, it's pretty nice, and it was already there, so why rip it out and throw it all out? That's all they would do with it anyway. Make some use out of it. 2 power poles here. We'll put a lot of tables in for test benches, and I think that more or less recaps this room. It's straightforward in terms of what we're doing with it. We talked about it a lot already, but now you can see what it looks like when it's done. Okay, so next we're going to go to my office room. We have the office room, testing room, and a production room. There's a couple others we won't show today. We still have those to look at. So the main change here is just that the room has most of its finishes. Like I said, they're going to go through and do some cleanup, touch up on stuff. Obviously, there's a few things that need to be pulled through the wall still, and things like that. But most of the hard work's done. The flooring is in, the baseboard's in, all that stuff. Plumbing, electrical's all in this room. So electrical and Ethernet wiring were a nightmare for this place. That's what took the longest because so much upfit needed to be done for it. A lot of that stuff was not only old, but some of it was non-functional or was dysfunctional in a way where we just would rather replace it than be unsure of what exactly we have. So that was the biggest work. I'll have a desk in here to do some work and have some other storage, things like that. But for the most part, I'm going to be sitting with the team in the production room, but I will have a setup in here as well, just in case. So, all right, next room. So this room is the one we've said a few times will be a future, hopefully, sound testing chamber. I've got big dreams for it, where one business might look at this and go, okay, this is 10 people or something. We're looking at it going, I don't want to manage 10 more people, that's hard. But I can work in an acoustic chamber by myself in complete silence and isolation, and that sounds pretty good. So that's what I want to put here. It's just a matter of time, maybe next year, maybe the year after, we'll see how the money is, because those, they get expensive because you're basically going for like a 0 dB if you can. We'd be shooting for something like maybe 10 to 15 dB depending on sort of the environment around us. This used to actually be, I don't know how much I talked about this in the past, but this ceiling was all ripped out in the past, so we've got shots of that where it's been filled in now. This used to be a bathroom. We did show that actually. So that's been filled in, obviously, at this point, and now it's just a big open space to work with in the future. In the first video, we actually showed a shot really similar to this. Maybe we can do a superimpose them or something, but this hallway was a nightmare. Like, it was perfect for filming the Disappointment build, which is our annual horror themed build that we do. It'd be perfect for that. Sadly, we have gotten rid of most of the things that made it look like the Left 4 Dead hospital, and we've replaced them with things that look like a nice office. But so flooring's been done here, walls are done, electrical's done, all that stuff, and it's a hallway. It's not that exciting, but it looks a lot different from the original, so I wanted to show it. This room originally, in the first video, I think, had a wall running right here, so it was divided with a wall that only went up 80% of the way to the ceiling. So this is a lot different. We are working on getting the finished concrete in. That's what we've done here, basically. I think they have a few more finishing touches to do, but it's mostly done. And the reason we chose concrete for this one, it reflects a lot of noise and stuff, but we're not really using it for a studio. We're going to use it for testing equipment. So this is where the large fan tester goes. I've said this in the last 2 videos now, but that's actually on the way. And that fan tester will probably go against this wall, but all that's going to go in this room. So the reason we went with concrete is just because it's going to be big machines with wheels rolling in, and it'll hold better. We will be doing the fan testing here, some thermal testing will be here, so it's climate controlled. And then in the past I've mentioned we want to get a salt spray tester as well. So that's this room. There's some closet, bathroom, stuff like that, nothing too exciting other than what we're using for equipment. And I guess we can head over to one of the next rooms. This one we've shown before, I think. It's this server room. I say server room. Everyone's always like, server room, this is too small for that. So just to clarify, when I say server room, I mean there's going to be one computer and a bunch of hard drives hooked up to it. It's the one we built with Wendell from Level 1 Techs previously. They're still using it. It's going to go in here. And we just got, this is not secured yet before someone says, oh, I've been doing network engineering for 3,900 years, but this is not secured at the moment. Roughly where it's going to go, so we're putting in just a 2-leg rack with all the I think it's a punch down for all the Ethernet in the office. And then we'll probably at some point get another cabinet, but like I said, it's like a Silverstone CS381 micro ATX computer box with a large disk shelf on it that Wendell provided us. So if we get fancy, we could get a rolling cabinet and put more disk shelves in it. If we do that, we would have to add some ventilation to the room. We've got enough AC to deal with it easily. It would just be a matter of adding a couple vents and stuff. But I don't use data like Linus does. It's very fun to fish. So we tend to prune A-roll files and compress stuff. Whereas I think he keeps pretty much everything, which is fine. They have the space for it, but we don't really do it that way. So this is enough for now. Pretty simple room, nothing too special here. Can move on to the next one. This will be storage. You've seen our storage room several times in the past, mostly in Disappointment build videos. A lot of that will transplant here. We have additional storage elsewhere, so we showed one of them earlier. We have plenty of storage. There's a lot of it. But this will be for things that we probably have in the current storage room, just transplant it, and we'll expand in the other locations. Big changes here though. So this wall used to be there used to be cabinetry in here. I think they at some point used it as a break room or something. It was horrible. I mean, the cabinetry was in rough shape. A lot of it was rotted, and the colors were mismatched, and paneling from the cabinets was torn off. It's just
I think I'm only gonna do
stuff
this
glued
for
on it
15
and patched over the years several times. So we tore all that out. The wall was weird too, where it made a couple of turns. So
What did they call it?
the previous
Switches.
occupants hated 90-degree angles and made sure there were none of them. And instead everything was like 17 angles. So we ripped all that out, straightened it out. The whole point of this, it's small stuff like this. Sometimes the detail we're putting in where you're just making sure you can actually put a table or a shelf against a wall and not have a weird shaped wall where you can't put anything. Except for custom millwork that is like useless beyond a break room, which we already have. So that'll be this room. Pretty straightforward, really. It's just another storage room. We keep a lot of stuff for regression testing and long-term use. So like as we use CPUs and GPUs. All right, so that's it for the office tour. We do these very off the cuff, and it's not scripted. But there's a lot of planning that's been into it. We've been over all kinds of floor plans, electrical, and plumbing, reflected ceiling plans, and approval.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Just make sure you guys are all liking the video and make sure you sub as well. Thanks. Love you.
Yo, the block, would you chew your PP off for 50 mil? For $50 million, you'd live and not have bad health conditions of it. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I need my Zoc. I'm a horny bro. I see a hole in the wall and I want to.
People just don't feel appreciated.
See? Bro, I guess I'm doing a 6 mil pro, boys. I guess, like, holy ziggery. Guys, can we get some hearts in the chat? Holy.
Odie, you gotta be careful. You
I
lost
didn't
your
want to spill
hair.
my food.
You're gonna lose your voice.
Oh my god. What the? He's like, hey, oh, if I donate 1K crypto, will you do a 6 mil poll? I said sure, and he actually fucking did it. Holy, I gotta give an
Flashing?
Oh, that's fucking crazy, man. Lord Forquat, thank you for the resub, I do appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Big hearts in the chat for Mr. 21 over there. Hopefully we can make this level up of 6 bill to whatever, 12 bill, whatever it is. Order, have to box 2 bill. Box 2 bill red. No way I'm actually boxing. What the fuck? I'm a 20-year-old Israel. Good for you, man. Are you gonna do the steak or not? I'm here to win. You hear me? Put me on vid. Cool, buddy. Now go ahead and put the money up. Fuck me. It puts up 300. Okay. Alright, oh. Zero. Alright. I'm gonna block. I'm a defender. Alright, oh. Maybe a punch here. Okay. Come on, call me Rocky Salsoa. Kick him in the sack. I'm hitting Ziggy!
Oh my gosh. This is like the most grueling duel I've ever seen. They're literally kicking and punching
Punch!
each other.
Punch! Damn it. Oh my god! Oh no!
Oh!
Big O! Hit him! Hit him! Hit him! Tank! Tank! Hit the two! Wow!
That was so
I did it! Mage box to build? No, 21. I'm not doing that. They know tactics that I don't. I'm gonna get fucking fucked. They know tactics that I don't, so I'm basically donating if I do that. Wallah, I'm not lying, 21. You think I'm trolling? Wallah, they know stuff that I don't. They're gonna start like doing tactics on me to get extra odds and I'm gonna lose. That's why I won't do it. Like if it was 50-50, sure, but they know shit that I don't know. Wallah, voodoo? No, Wallah, 21. Like these motherfuckers, like that mage box, like they're fucking weird. Like they will go like, Blood Rush, it has the most shards. Blood Baraga, I had to Blood Baraga there. Baraga, I had to Barag there in order for me to win. Like they know everything. I don't know how they know it. Wallah, they do. Wallah boy, thank you for the resubber. I do appreciate you. Zialo, Page! Deadly Gyros, you gotta tab out, my brother. Zialo, big spec here. Give me a 19-4, my pin. Come on, give me my pin, come on. Give me a 2020 tank. No, man. That box stick was for nothing now. Unless that 2020? 20 to tank? Yeah, cringe. Ooh, cringe. You like that, Grizzly? You like that? Oda, don't stake this rat. Why? Does he only win or something? Hey man, we're gonna try to end his life right here. Come on, OZLO, eyes leave. Make the money back. You're good. You're strong. You're a strong individual. You can make this happen. Eyes leave. Right here, right now. 17-4 my pay. Not the best start. Can I tank? If I don't tank, I lose this tank. I need a tank. I need one tank here. Let's see.
Oh
man,
my
this guy's
gosh.
overpowered, bro. This guy's like the fucking main character, man. Suck my cock. I'm doing one, brothers. Good luck, thank you. I need this south. Come on, Zielo.
Your attitude, miss.
Come on. Zizio. 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 Zizio.
Oh my god. What? What do you want?
How much to end the stream? Nobody has the power to do that. Unless 150 sub. What? What the hell? Say, well, I just said that in front of everybody. Zero, come on, no music. I need the Rocky right now. Come on, Oda. Come on, Oda.
Your nose is so cold.
If I tank one, I can win. Let's tank this one. Yeah!
Wow, that was
No way, I won that! Zielo, come on, Oda. Do not make the last stick in vain. No, it's his pit again. Come on, maybe I can tank here? I need a tank or I lose, come on. Fuck's sake. Even if I DDS'd, I lost. He would have had 56 HP, I can't hit a 56 DDS. For fuck's sake, man.
I think 21 wants to know how much for a 24 hours stream.
Hey. Yeah, can't be doing 24 hours. Have to stay on my schedule. But I am gonna probably do a subathon very soon. Come on, Zelo. Come on, we need this one. We need it. Come on, give me one more tank. Come on, give me one more tank. Come on, give me one more tank. No, he tanked. Okay, give me a tank so I can really Oh, the flaw! Nice taking a headshot, cuzzo. Oh man, it feels great. Okay. You know what? I got you guys. Through the cup with Peb, we'll get a ring on him. Rico in the backseat with that shovel. We gonna swing on 'em. You know my clothes be Ralph Lauren. Zillow Page, come on. 23 shot to his bomb like a shot.
Oh, you run it now?
Come on. I got kicked down. My gang with no gang.
I hope she didn't knock anything over.
Hello, Syrian. How you doing? The feed machine. How you doing? Zillow and Charlo and come on. Zillow Page. Come on. I believe. Zillow Page. No music. Thank you, child. I needed that. I need this. Thank you, Slash. Thank you, recognition. We need this. Thank you, Sal. We need this one, bro. We need it. Thank you, Akin. Thank you, Zero. Don't rock at me. Why do I feel bullshit surging down my body? Bro, I can feel the bullshittery. No way, bro. This game is so fucking bad, bro. Holy shit. I felt it, bro. I just know stakes so well. You can feel the loss, you know? You can feel the loss. Like,
sorry, Oda.
Wallah, it's crazy how I knew I lost that one just because of the first hit. I said Wallah. I've been staking for too long. I know how this shit goes. Alright, O. If you lose this one, you're wrong. This is very important. ZLO right now. So come on, O. You can make this bet. ZLO push. That way he tried making me miss. Come on, O. I think he's gonna force spec me here. Yeah, feels bad then. Hello, baby. What are you doing?
Tina is bad energy. The losses began when she joined stream. How many subs to get her out of here at Oda Block?
20 Zifted collectively south and she's out of here for the rest of the stream. I agree with you completely. I feel like she wants me to lose so bad. You know what I'm saying? She's trying to make me lose.
I just heard Nvidia's got a sick new GPU for us to play with. Well, what part of that is wrong? Did we not get it? Or is there no new GPU? Yes. Wait. Oh, this is the RTX 2060 relaunch, isn't it? But why?
You can buy now. You want to talk about it?
Yes. Yes, I do. And I want to talk about our sponsor, MSI's new Meg Z690 Unified Motherboard.
NVIDIA's new old stock GPU uses the same core layout as the RTX 2060 Super, but instead of that GPU's 8GB memory configuration, they're bumping it up to 12GB of GDDR6. At first glance, that might sound like a decent upgrade, but there's more to the story than just the size of the frame buffer alone. The available memory bandwidth is still being stifled by the original RTX 2060's 192-bit bus. So, in that respect, it's actually a step back from the RTX 2060 Super. That means this card should perform somewhere between the OG 2060 and the Super variant, rather than surpassing them, unless you have a specific need for the extra video memory.
And you just might. To account for newer titles coming out with bigger and more varied assets, NVIDIA would have seen fit to give the RTX 2060 some extra juice in the caboose. Not to mention the marketing benefits. 12 gigs puts them on par with AMD, who has for some time been criticizing NVIDIA's lower-end cards for their smaller frame buffers. If nothing else, at least it helps to ensure that anyone who's buying one of these RTX 2060s isn't stuck with all of the limitations of a 3-year-old design. Obviously, you're not going to be cranking the visuals on these cards, but you're also not going to be scrambling to upgrade again in a year or so. Maybe.
We'd love to verify that, but we certainly can't today. Not only has NVIDIA canned the Founders Edition that they briefly listed on their website, but we didn't get a card to review, and they haven't been talking to the press either, us included. As far as we could tell, this card was still a maybe on the horizon rumor as recently as last week. There's two ways you could look at this. First, obviously, we already know pretty much how the RTX 2060 performs.
It's not bad.
So reviews aren't likely to
1300,
reveal anything mind-blowing. Maybe they felt it wasn't worth bothering.
harmonic dust and
The second
a little over an
is
hour.
more troubling. As of writing, I have no idea how much it costs. Each board partner is going to have their own SKUs with their own pricing, and NVIDIA hasn't announced a baseline MSRP like they usually would, instead opting for the cryptic, "It's a premium product, so it'll be priced accordingly" line. It could be that this card will be very expensive, and they're trying to get out in front of a negative news cycle full of inevitable comparisons to the 30 series launch MSRPs.
And to be fair to NVIDIA, there's no real benefit to tech press, and subsequently consumers, yelling at them about how their MSRP doesn't exist when it's inevitably higher for most partner boards. Now, we've talked at length about why MSRPs have been rising, and why the MSRPs that many GPUs originally launched at are functionally extinct. But the TLDR is that it's a combination of the ongoing chip shortage, raw materials skyrocketing in price thanks to COVID recovery and speculation, and just plain and simple supply and demand. It's becoming more expensive just to get the chips, let alone put it all together, and this cost isn't going away anytime soon. NVIDIA sells GPUs to everyone else so that they can eat that cost then, but partners don't have the luxury of selling loss leaders.
Oh, this is interesting. I just got a response from ASUS. Apparently they don't know what the MSRP is yet.
I'd love to say that's surprising, but I just don't think it is.
That NVIDIA won't commit to an MSRP could be seen as a small mercy. Or another way of messing with their partners.
Weird.
Whatever the case, partners won't have to do much to both piss everyone off and sell all their stock at once. The fact of the matter is that both the RTX 2060s, launched at $349, and the RTX 3060 that's supposed to have replaced it, launched at $329. If the price ends up being anything higher than that, r/hardware is going to lose their minds, whether it's justified or not. It feels like NVIDIA is hanging partners out to dry again, while they continue to enjoy the positive perception of reasonable MSRP on their cards that board partners have no hope of matching with this release or any other, either in terms of price or performance. We'll have them linked down below once they're available, but I'm not hopeful it'll be a good deal.
Though, as unpopular as this take might be, it'll still be a bargain, at least at off-the-shelf prices, compared to scalper RTX 2060 prices on eBay. I mean, look at this. They are regularly selling for more than $500 to $600, depending on whether it's the super variant of the card. And whoever bought this one for over $800 US must have been pretty desperate.
There we go.
The people buying these scalped secondary market cards are the people who will benefit the most. They've clearly already accepted that they're going to have to shell out flagship money for a less than flagship experience, and more cards on the market means that there's less pressure for these second-hand GPUs. I mean, it's really a win-win for consumers as far as I'm concerned. Just like our new Swacket on LTTstore.com. It's heavier than a sweater and lighter than a jacket. Everyone wins.
Except not really. If NVIDIA has been holding on to these GPUs because they couldn't sell them before now, then this is more of a positive for them than for anyone else. And it means that these GPUs have a finite quantity.
But I don't think that's true. NVIDIA would have sold remaining stock for cheap, or to a system integrator for pre-builts or what have you before now. Remember the 7900 GTO? Those were basically 7900 GTX chips that were perfectly fine, but deprecated by the outstanding 8800 series. Besides, there's no way that they'd have enough surplus to launch a whole new SKU at this point across their entire range of partners. 7900 GTO, as you might recall, was MSI and EVGA exclusively due to its limited quantities. Now, Turing, RTX 20 series, was produced on TSMC's 12 nanometer node. And more likely what's happening is NVIDIA is utilizing otherwise idle production because you gotta remember, guys, even though TSMC offers 7 nanometer and 5 nanometer for cutting edge products and is working on ramping 3 nanometer, they haven't necessarily just taken their last gen old equipment and hucked it in a bin. Due to the large upfront investment, that kind of stuff ends up getting phased out very gradually. I mean, even AMD's flagship X570 chipset is still using 14 nanometer because it's economical. So if no other GPUs are being produced on 12 nanometer right now, any new capacity that NVIDIA gets out of those
She's like, how
tabs is
dare you?
new capacity as far as the GPU market is concerned. And I think they made the right call going with the RTX 2060 super cores as well, because assuming that they're going to be using the relatively small TU-106 die, they should be able to get more good dies per wafer than they would with something like a 2070 Super Redux or something along those lines.
Okay, this is starting to make sense, except for the fact that NVIDIA's bundling these GPUs with 12 gigabytes of GDDR6. GDDR6 was a large part of the production bottleneck that plagued both NVIDIA and AMD through the 2020 and 2021 phases of this shortage. And I haven't found any evidence to suggest that things are so much better now that a relief SKU like this can reliably use so much memory. 12 gigs at 192-bit means that we're looking at 6 16-gigabit dies. The exact same layout of the RTX 3060. Well, this might have been done so partners could use the same or similar PCBs.
I mean,
it
I'm not
means that
surprised.
this memory is not going into RTX 3060 production or RTX 3050 production, which is expected sometime in early 2022. Get subscribed so you don't miss our coverage of that card when it launches.
I can only assume that they have their reasons. Clearly, NVIDIA knows more about supply chain management than we do at this point, or indeed than they did when they launched the 8800 series all those years ago. It did seem that around summer of this year, demand for GDDR6 had fallen in comparison with supply, so who knows? And on the subject of lessons learned, it does say a lot about the mature way that NVIDIA is handling this by straight up calling this card what it is. 2060 12 gig. Remember how NVIDIA rebranded Fermi and then later Kepler into 2 generations each? I mean, we got new GPUs with new names, but they were the same bloody thing. It's stupid that they have to get a gold star for calling a spade in this industry, but here we are. And as long as the logistics do work out, this is going to be a net benefit to the overall availability of graphics cards for at least a little while, which is good for everyone.
Just as long as we don't go back much further than this. I had a dream the other night that NVIDIA re-released the GTX 780 and everyone was happy about it. I mean, 28 nanometer is an even less utilized node these days, right? So
I don't think that dream's coming true anytime soon. Re-releasing an older GPU is only remotely feasible because we are in such desperate circumstances. And because the process node for that GPU is still in production and maybe not fully tapped by other industries. It certainly carries with it some challenges, like the fact that NVIDIA might have to continue to support 20 series cards for much longer than they might have originally planned in order to maintain their reputation for industry-leading long-term driver support. This move, then, requires some lateral thinking on the part of both NVIDIA and prospective buyers. Hey, it's not going to be for everyone, but we live in interesting times, and the market is clearly there for this class of GPU. I just hope that the power consumption per hash rate is not appealing enough to make it appealing, because I doubt they respun it for a light hash rate version. Just like I respun telling you about our sponsor, Jackery makes solar-ready portable power stations designed to improve outdoor life by providing power outdoors whenever and wherever you need it. Their Explorer 1500 portable power station has enough juice to keep all your devices powered and connected. Its huge 1500 watt-hour capacity and 1800 watt output rate allows up to 7 devices plugged in simultaneously. It takes only 4 hours to recharge, up from 0 to 80%, and you can check out the Explorer 1500 at the link down below and get 10% off with code LinusTechTips. Thanks for watching, guys. Go check out our video on how I was right that you should have built a PC back in 2019, but for all the wrong reasons. Yep, we all lost the game, but there's more info about the shortage and prices in there that might help to make some sense of these troubled times.
I'm not tired. You didn't see that. You didn't see it. No, you didn't hear it either. It didn't happen. You're a liar. I think 50K left. Woo! Nice. Congrats. What? No, I was saying congrats for your page. You've been trying for it for 4 days. The polar bear! Aww. How do you get the polar bear? I want a polar bear. Oh, he's so cute. I'm like, seriously, how do you get the polar bear? It's Edwin, it says. Ah! Oh, don't look! Right there, this one? Baby. I know, life is hard. Baby. Honey. I keep yawning. I'm sorry. Exactly. That's what I said. What is happening? This guy's like, what is going on? Is this a terrorist attack? It's the greatest terrorist attack ever. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. My yawns are just ridiculous. I'm so close. Gosh, it's only 10. Keep yawning. It gets so much later. I was hoping to make it later tonight. I don't know. I at least gotta get this one shard. Ooh, somebody just got a piece of dragonstone. Oh my gosh. Someone keeps throwing down all these prisms. Ah! Oh my gosh, excuse me. Oh my gosh, I did it again! I'm sorry, Gigi. You're right. This is my bad. Okay. Oh gosh. Gathering, crafting, the one from the quest, and then the one that they give you right in the beginning. Oh, no, I'm doing crafting to finish, the Yak Track level. So yeah, after this one I should, I'll have one more shard. Or I should unlock a shard with this one. And then, I don't know what else we got for that. Probably some support, maybe some clues. I haven't done clue scrolls in a while, so that might be fun. I mean, we do have the free bosses, so I don't know, we'll see. Can you can't trade the shards, can you? That's weird.
Ever since the first Valorant Champions was announced over a year ago, we've known a couple of things for certain. We knew we were going to get some amazing Valorant gameplay, and we knew that our first champion would be crowned. What we did not know, however, was all the drama the tournament would bring, and you're barely out of the group stage. So if you don't know what's happening, or you're just confused, don't worry. I'll explain everything. Alright y'all, before we get into the video, I always gotta remind you, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and to ring that notification bell. We're just over a week in, and Valorant Champions is getting dramatic. False positive COVID cases, Cypher Cam exploits, an entire region being upset at one team/player. It's been a heck of a few days. Unless you're like my fellow host Keith, who deleted his Twitter, I am pretty sure you saw what went down between Shazam, Zoms, and what feels like the entire fan base of Brazilian Valorant. If you're not completely up to date with what's happened, don't worry, I have this timeline for you, but before we get into it, let me just say we are all going to be completely respectful and understanding. More importantly, if you're going to be xenophobic, hateful, problematic, you don't belong. You're part of a community of literally millions act like it. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, what has happened the past week? In order to understand the complete context of this, we gotta back it up to December 2nd when Sentinels faced Furia. It was close, it was 1-1, and Sentinels just needed one more round to close out the series.
Got a fun little cape.
However, Furia was being Furia, aka bosses, and they were making an insane comeback.
There's a slither. There is a slither right at the back, just as you say. Can they find a way to manage this though? Tens lining up in the back wall. All the Sentinels players firing off together. In comes Mazin. Very important flank through. There's the hold. There's the stick. Can he find it? Can he find it? Yes, he can! Still Fury are alive. The Red Bull clutch there. Ferenzi are still alive. Are you a believer, Sean?
I am a believer, Dad. That is insane.
Momentum was on their side. The rounds were exciting and nail-biting, and then a tech pause. A pause of any kind is frustrating, but the map's gonna pick up soon, right? No, not at all. It wasn't a minute or two long tech pause, it was a really long time. Like I almost fell asleep watching the broadcast long. It was like 20 minutes. After we returned from the pause, Sentinels won that last round and closed out the series. Woo! Listen, tech pauses happen all of the time. They're necessary. It seems like this tournament specifically can't escape them. It leaves lots of time for folks to do like little like dances. But this tech pause was particularly annoying and honestly upsetting. The pause happened because of a specific jump that he made onto a box on top of C. What he did was not an exploit, but rather a skill jump. The time was taken to make sure that it was legal.
Sorry.
But we, the audience, aka the viewers, didn't know that. What we saw on our screens at the end were the Sentinels returning to the desk. So some people like myself saw Tens
Skill
and Shazam coming
and
back and thought maybe the
chip.
Sentinels had initiated it. Personally, I saw Tens holding his
Or-
neck coming back, so I thought it was like an injury or something. I talked to Dapper after that match about what happened, to which he simply replied,
Yeah, that was theirs. Yeah.
so an unfortunate tech pause that arguably should not have happened nor taken that long for
Yay!
a simple skill jump. But this is where our story really begins. People were livid at Sentinels, thinking they initiated the tech pause to stall Furio's momentum and win the series. There's lots of hate being sent their way, including allegedly death threats. People were photoshopping Shazam's head onto a stock
Alright.
body photo because Shazam explained that he just asked to go to the bathroom since the tech pause was so
Now the
long.
question
Shazam admitted this was weird because in the past, this wasn't allowed. Shazam later explained his thoughts on stream about everything that was happening on Twitter.
All these like really large Brazilian influencers are like memeing and clowning me on Twitter, like talking shit, like shamelessly, without even knowing what happened. I literally just went to take a piss. It's actually really f***ed up. It really disappoints me.
So that happened, but we're not nearly done. On December 3rd, Vivo Key defeated Ascend 2-1. One of those maps was Breeze. However, people began to notice that there may have been an actual exploit used by Vivo Key. You see, there's a place on Breeze, specifically a site, where if you're defending and you're Cypher, you can place his camera where it glitches through the texture and is an unfair advantage. And this sounds familiar. We've done a video on this before.
The bug in question revolves around Cypher's spike. It allows Cypher to see a site on Breeze without the attackers being able to see the cam unless they push further into the site.
The TLDR of this is that camera is an exploit, which teams knew they were not allowed to use before the event. And teams have been punished before for using it, specifically X10 and Vodafone Giants. So there is precedent, and Riot, after an arguably long time, made the decision that this camera was indeed an illegal exploit and that VK would be penalized 6 rounds for it. Those 6 rounds would make Ascend win Breeze, and then technically the series. And then all hell breaks loose.
Always
Hashtag Justice for Key begins to trend on Twitter. People are upset, and people pointed fingers at other people like Dapper from Sentinel, saying they used the same camera but did not receive any punishment. I can say that a colleague of mine and myself checked out the VOD where people were throwing accusations at Dapper of using that camera, and the positioning looks a little bit different. Also, from not part of this tournament, we have clips of Dapper using a different camera spot. Dapper himself denies using the camera exploit. Now, after the initial ruling, Riot said, hey, we're actually going to review this one more time, and they eventually decided that they're going to replay the map with Ascend up 7 after discussing the situation with the EMEA team. Ascend eventually won. Huge, huge props to Vivo Keed for tying up that match as well. I talked to the coach of Vivo Keed, and this is what he had to say regarding the exploit.
Yes, they did receive a list. The list has a few pictures, but that one part is in a slot that has no pictures, so they should have paid more attention. And they have been practicing using that camera for a while. It's not something that they were like surprised and decided to do then, even because like it was not their intention, like, oh hey, let's abuse a bug. If like Cypher didn't go to the same bomb all the time, and if they won like 1 round because of that, it was too much.
What's up, honey?
But that it wasn't their intention to be like, I'm gonna exploit.
On December 4th, we all wake up to a bunch of tweets from players in Berlin saying that like something really upsetting and sad has happened, but we have no clue what. Eventually, we find out that there were a bunch of false positive COVID tests, and everything and everyone is okay. But that is not the biggest piece of drama that would happen that day. On December 4th at 1:12 p.m. Eastern Time, Shazam sends out a tweet. Should have called a tech pause. He tweeted this during Team Vikings versus Gambit, and honestly, what happened was a choke. Vikings should have had it in the bag. So Shazam makes a joke in like the Sentinels v Furio situation, but people didn't take it as a joke. Shazam then went back and forth in a serious conversation with Gustavo Malau, who is a Brazilian commentator and presenter for Valorant. And then Zoms enters the thread. Can't wait to beat your shit region again. And this is when all hell breaks loose. Gustavo tries to reply to this, to which Zoms replied, oh no. If you're seeing a pattern, Zoms then doubles down on his rhetoric on his Twitter almost an hour later. He then posted another tweet about Brazil and a screenshot of the highest earners in Valorant, which is him. and the rest of the Sentinels. And Zoms is not wrong or even exaggerating about the punishment part of his tweets. After the shit region comment, people were calling for Zoms to be punished under VCT competitive rules. Specifically, there are some parts of Section 7 where people saw the rules being most applicable to what Zoms said. It should also be said that there is a precedent of players being punished under this section, one being Celsius for a remark he made. You don't know what he said, but he was suspended from the VCT. Some people thought it was funny and all in the essence of esports, but others, like the co-CEO of Furia, said that, quote, as the co-CEO of Furia Esports and Brazilian, I truly would like to see this kind of behavior be punished accordingly. It cannot happen. Esports is about respect, passion, love. Disrespect 220 million people, a lot of them living in poverty, is unacceptable. Zoms began trending on Twitter with tens of thousands of tweets, and the next day, he triples down. Not trying to be that person, but I should probably say the next day, Zoms and the rest of the Sentinels were eliminated from the tournament. Now, I've been able to speak to a number of coaches and players in the VCT, and I wanted to get their thoughts on this because this is a pretty big deal. I know it may seem like petty drama and banter, but remember, Sentinels were allegedly sent death threats, and Brazilian fans and players' feelings were seriously hurt. It turned out to be more than just tweets. I know it's corny or whatever, but words can seriously hurt people. I asked Furious Zand after their elimination if he had been looking forward to facing Sentinels again, and this is what he said.
Well, one step at a time first. I do believe that Sentinels are a great team and it would be really good to face them. Not just for me, but because there are some people there who are being shit-talking our region and our nation and saying things, bad things about our day-to-day life and our daily difficulties. So more than just for the match, it would be great to be able to face them for myself or personal reasons and to shut them up a little.
It should be noted that if Furia had won that set, they would have faced Sentinels once again. I asked the head coach of Crew and my new Twitter mutual friend about this tweet he had made regarding region rivalries, and he explained that he doesn't really like that whole head-to-head idea, and he would like to see a different environment.
I would like to see, an environment with more freedom. I don't like to win a game and heard that people from our region, Latin, are making jokes about Brazil being bad because we are very close to other friends. For example, Nosware, a player from Furia, was my teammate in another game a few years ago. We are very close together. So I don't like that kind of rivalry between regions. Maybe between teams, I think the banter is okay. To have banter between both teams. But when we talk about regions, we wake up, feelings about nationalism, politics, and other things that I think they don't have a place here because it's an effort and should be a healthy one.
Fun fact, I asked his player Klaus about what he thought about all of this, and he said,
I don't care, to be honest.
I also asked Heat and Koi from Vivo Heat about the situation, and this was their response.
Well, I believe that people and regions should be united and we should support each other. Even if something grotesque happens, we should always get together and support each other instead of going against each other. Basically, that's what it's kind of a pity. He doesn't really enjoy the kind of public attitude and being offensive on social media. Since they play with so much feeling, sometimes even they can pass the limit. Like the game yesterday where they were fighting with so much force of will, since it was a really hard game and started behind. And sometimes you can get in the mood and actually extrapolate what you're trying to say, maybe even get a little bit offensive. But he thinks that the community should be more united and actually cheer for a team and protect the team the way it's meant to be, and not with hard offenses and stuff happen.
And that's pretty much it. Since then, Sentinels has been eliminated from Champions, and people have memed on them and still are. But that does not take away from the seriousness of the situation. And Vivo Heat and Furia are also eliminated from the tournament, which I know really stings the Brazilian fans, especially after everything that has happened. Being sent death threats and hate is not okay in any way, shape, or form. And also, everyone's feelings about what was said about the region is valid. a blanket statement like that, like Onor said, can bring up a lot of feelings that are not related to esports. All in all, Champions is not over. So let's just hope that the event can just be the event and we can all just enjoy Valorant at its pinnacle like it's supposed to be. Which, not to be that person, is pretty dang awesome. And we're barely even out of the group stages. So let's just enjoy it.
Beautiful timing. Bet not so much. Phoebe, am I not allowed to have fun without you? Is that just what's up? No fun. If you're having fun, it's with me and me only. That's a pretty good catch there, Beats. Tried to time it, didn't work. Oh wow, I'm actually gonna level. Need like 20 more laps. I mean, when they only take 30 seconds, that's not too bad. Let's do it, Talent Scout. Aww. I don't want to take Molly out of my game. Hey. Stuff me out. Yeah. How rude. I don't remember which one this is. Punch the hungry sheeps. She's gonna get it. Oh, okay. Let's punch some sheeps. I'm so sorry, sheeps. I don't mean it. What? Are you kidding me? The first one? Boom! Hey, I didn't want to punch the sheeps. Nobody ever wins. Yeah, I'm just too lucky, that's why. Yeah, but watch, I'm gonna risk it here. Right, we're gonna risk it. Yeah, and then I'm gonna get nothing. Watch this. Oh. Oh, it stays the same. Okay, at least I didn't lose any. We're inside, you idiot. I can't believe I punched one sheep. That was amazing. I was like, I'm sorry, sheep. Oh, I got another piece of the Nimble outfit. Sweet. Hey, that's the last piece. Woo! Look at that. Nice. Alright, you can come back in my arms. There we go.
I've stopped looking for reasons. I gave up long ago. Got no say in the matter. It's like
now we only got like 3 laps.
Can't fight the force of nature. It's beyond my control. Some things don't need explaining. Some things are already known. Oh no. Just like the ocean can't leave the shoreline. Just like the sun can't help but to shine on through. This heart was
Doggy's just like, what are you doing standing up here? I know. You made me follow you and now you're just standing here. get it this one. Haven't yet, smash a like for the 87 agility. I don't know what these symbol pieces are for. Do some space rolls tomorrow. That's not too bad. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. I've got a master one started. I've got a lot of easy ones. Well, thank you to anyone who tuned in. I'll be on again this week, and we will continue hunting for our next shard. I think we're going to do some clue scrolls, and eventually we'll try some bossing. So, hopefully some more exciting stuff. This has been a little bit slow, but I like the skilling show. I hope you guys have a great night. Bye.